readers, welcome back to The Adulterous Whore. I'm your host, Stacey Wright. So this is episode 11 of season 2, and today I'm going to talk about Sibling Love Triangle trope and some of the books that I enjoyed within that trope. I hope you had a really good reading weekend. I know I did. So if you don't know much about sibling love triangles, they're books that have a little bit of extra heartbreak in them, because what could be worse than two siblings fighting over the same love interest? Now, I'm not going to lie, this is not my trope. I am not a massive fan of love triangles, period. And when they're siblings, I think it's a little messier than I like. So it's not my favorite. So I gave it 3 hearts out of 5. But before we dive into what this episode's all about and what books I recommend in it, I want to tell you all about my absolutely banging reading weekend. I whipped through books this weekend. I was like the Terminator of book reading. I'm not even joking. So I started out with How to Sell a Romance by Eliza Martin, which is actually out today. Now, I did this book as a Berkeley book tour, and I had to post my review because that's how it works. You have to make sure that you have read and posted the review for the day of publication. But it was literally about this woman, Emerson, and she has a one-night stand in a hotel, and they don't change numbers or anything. There's a reason for that. And he literally walks into her classroom to pick up his daughter from her kindergarten class because her new school year has just started. And it's absolutely hilarious. She got pulled into an MLM scheme as well, and I had a really great time reading it. You'll be able to read my review at thelionessofliteracy.com, so you should definitely go check it out. I also read Such Good People by Amy Blumenfeld. Now this one, it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but it was really character driven. So not a lot of things really happened in the book. It was mostly about the characters, which I'm not going to lie, I need to be in the mood for it. So it's one of those books that I probably would have enjoyed on a normal day, but I was in a moody mood, and it was just one of those books that I probably should have put to the back of my pile, but it was out last week, so I had no choice. I read The Poppy Fields by Nikki Erlick. I think I've said that right. Now, this one I wasn't expecting this book, okay, because I never read the synopsis. This is something you're going to learn about me. I go in blind. I literally read the title. I don't even pay attention to the gender of the author. I don't even read their names half the time. That's how much of a nightmare I am. So this book was literally about this place. Like, this scientist had discovered that you could treat grief with their sleep program, and it was free, but you had to sign up. You had to qualify based on their parameters, and all these people are heading there, and they've all got different reasons for doing it. One was going there to get over her loss. Another one was going over there to find out what happened to his brother, and the other one was going there because she was trying to look for her sister. So I actually really enjoyed it. It was surprisingly good. So if you're looking at it going, oh, I don't know about that, yeah, do it, trust me. Okay. Another one I read was Believe Me Now by S M Govett. This one was like, you didn't know what the heck was going on. You couldn't trust anything. And I love books like that. So this woman, she has severe PTSD. She doesn't like to leave her house, but she has blackout moments because of this traumatic thing that happened to her because of what her boss did to her. And then she finds out that her husband has been accused of the same crime that someone did against her. And she doesn't know what to believe. And you don't know if you can trust her because she keeps having these blackout moments and all these things keep getting pieced together. And oh my God, it was a wild ride. I really enjoyed it. It was a very, very good psychological thriller. Okay, this one. All right. This one, I don't even know how I ended up getting it from NetGalley, but oh my God, I'm so glad I did. So this one was called Of Monsters and Mainframes by Barbera Truelove. And I'm going to say it's like a vampire adjacent book. So it's this ship, and the AI comes online and finds out everyone's dead on board, and she doesn't know what's happened. Someone's deleted her footage. There's nothing there. All she knows is that everybody's dead. And then when she manages to pull back some of the footage, everyone's running around, but no one seems to be chasing it. And it turns out that Dracula killed everyone on board. And now this AI, is on a mission to destroy Dracula. It was absolutely phenomenal. I've never had a book add things like Dracula, there was a werewolf, and then Frankenstein's monster, but in an AI like sci-fi. Oh, it was phenomenal. Such a good book. Highly recommend it. And then my last one I got from NetGalley that I finished was Confessions of a Grammar Queen by Eliza Knight. Now, this one was like, it started out really slow and I wasn't sure about it at first, but it's based in the 1960s. And Bernadette is a copy editor for a publishing house, but she's kind of treated like, you know, you make the coffee, you have to do more work than everyone else. Like, hold on a scut. Like, she wasn't treated as an equal to her male peers, and she wasn't paid anywhere near as much, and she was better at her job. And it's all about how she wants to be the first female CEO of a publishing house, her trying to work around male chauvinists, and it was really good. But the best part was her dog. We got the point of view of her dog, and he was hilarious. It was such a brilliant book. I'm really glad that I read it. I don't even remember requesting it is the worst part. And maybe I didn't. It might even be that they sent me a widget, but I don't remember because it just didn't stick out. But I'm really glad I read it. I really enjoyed it. So I also read, and this was a library book, I read Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Now, this is about two writers who compete for the chance to write the memoir of a recluse. And it had a lot of really good witty banter and I enjoyed the heck out of it. But I'm a big Emily Henry fan, so obviously. Skin and Bones by Paul Doiron. And that's basically a book full of short stories, kind of filling gaps in the Mike Bowditch series. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's a really good mystery series if you're into that kind of stuff, but you don't need to have read the series to enjoy the short stories that he compiled for this book because they work as like little standalone short stories. I'm not a big fan of short stories, but I am a fan of the series, so I kind of enjoyed it. So yeah, it was a really good read. Okay, it's publication day today, so let's see what you can get if you go hunting at the bookstores today. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandanna, and that one is a sci-fi fantasy book. I loved it. So, like, I finished it a couple days ago. So good, so good. Highly recommend. Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter, and that one is a rom-com. Also, really good book. I'm so behind on my reviews, but I have already read quite a lot of these books that I'm talking about. Climate of Chaos by Cassandra Newbold, and that one is a young adult dystopian. Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wang, and that one is a paranormal fantasy. Hit Me With Your Best Charm by Lily Vale, and that one is a young adult paranormal romance. And last, but by no means least, One Yellow Eye by Lee Radford, and that one is a sci-fi horror. And I'm waiting for my library to get a copy because I missed the sign-ups for that book, and I'm bummed, completely bummed. Okay, so get into the crux of the episode. So you might be wondering what a sibling love triangle is. And it's usually where two brothers or two sisters are competing for the love of a third party. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a brother and sister who fall for the same person. I didn't find any books that I had read that fit that description, so we're just going to go with the basics, okay? So, a love triangle is where one person is desired by two others that create this like romantic rivalry. And we usually get the point of view of the person who is the center of their affections. Now, in a sibling love triangle, the dynamic is really complicated. If you think about it, like this is going to cause problems between siblings and their relationship in relation to each other, as well as with the object of their affection. So it adds this extra layer of complexity, and there's going to be some potential conflict and fallout. Now, it can manifest in two different ways. It could just be a friendly rivalry competing for this girl, or it could be really a full-blown feud where they don't talk to each other anymore and they make family members pick sides. And I'm not a massive fan of severe drama like that. I'm really not, because I really think that love shouldn't come between family members. Now, love triangles have a tendency to explore themes like loyalty, betrayal, jealousy, and the struggle to find balance between personal desires with familial bonds. Now, obviously these things can cause resentment, anger. There could be a breakdown in communication, but it also could affect the relationship the siblings have with other family members. Let's say the mom feels that one son's better off with this girl, or that neither of them should be with it, and that can cause extra layers of drama. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not a fan of that. But I did find 5 books that I had read in this trope that I did enjoy. But it seems to be a really young adult theme, and I don't know if that's just I couldn't find a great deal of adult books that weren't on the spicy side of this. So it doesn't seem to be a common theme in contemporary romance. But the first book I picked was The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. And this book, I wasn't going to read it. I was just going to watch the show because my friend was like, dude, get on Prime, get and watch this show. It's so good. But as soon as I found out it was a book series, I have this dilemma because if I watch the series, it's very unlikely I'm going to read the book series. So I did. I read the series first. And it's all about this girl called Belly, and she measures her life in summers. So everything's good. There's all this like great stuff happens between June and August. She falls for 2 brothers. So she's known them since her first summer of being there. She had crushes on them, and now they're both interested. And it's just one of those books that doesn't sound like much. And it's so cliche. And I really do not much care for the love triangle trope. But I was absolutely obsessed with this book within the first chapter. I thought Belly was phenomenal. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really cheesy. But I kind of like that. I kind of enjoy cheese sometimes. And of course, it's not going to win any literary awards. It's not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't care. You can mind your business because I really enjoyed it. Now, if you're looking for a summer read, this one is a really good one to read right now. No joke. And it's not a hard read, you know what I mean? Now, the last part of the book shattered my heart into a million pieces. I couldn't take it. I was distraught. I was so distraught. It was really sweet and emotional. And the writing was pretty solid. For a young adult book, it was a solid effort, and I gave it 4.5 stars. So the next one is My Life with the Water Boys by Ali Novak. Now, as you may or may not remember, I told you that my daughter is an extra on the 2nd season of this show on Netflix because the show is filmed in Calgary and Chestermere. So what is it about? So Jackie doesn't like surprises. Chaos is the enemy. The best way to get her successful, busy parents to notice her is to be perfect. Surprise 1. Jackie's family dies in a freak car accident. Surprise 2. Jackie has to move cross country to live with the Walters, her new guardians. Surprise 3. The Walters have 12 sons. Well, 11, but Parker acts like a boy anyway. Now, Jackie has to trade in her type A personality, a New York City apartment, for a Colorado ranch and all the wild water boys who come with it. Now, there are 2 specific water boys who are vying for her affections. They want to fill her boyfriend's slot. It's funny because I kind of feel like the author did a really good job of not making it feel like a love triangle. And I know that sounds really strange, but I feel like she wrote it in such a way that people that hate love triangles, like me, could get on board and enjoy the book. And I'm not gonna lie, I did. I really enjoyed it. Now, I liked both guys. It was really hot because normally I can pick, like with love triangles, there is obviously a main contender, but I couldn't pick one. I couldn't. So this book got through all the aspects of her teenage life, the boys' lives, and I think it was really well written. I really do. And obviously I'm not a teenager, so I can't relate, but I think the book did a really good job. I really do. And I cackled, okay? Laugh out loud, threw my hair back, cackled like a witch, because I do. When I'm really going, I cackle like a witch. It's not pleasant to watch, but that's totally what I did. This book was good. It was good. Ali Novak has a skill. She does. She's very, very skilled. I thought the book was really funny. It was really sad and really cute on equal measures. Like I said, the TV show, I had to read the books first because I really wanted to see my daughter in the show. It was 4.5 stars. Loved it. Next one is, this one was really hard, okay? So this one is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Ugh, okay, so book one, which is this one, Red Queen. Brilliant. Brilliant book. I was obsessed. I whipped through it. I was like, yes, give me book two. Book two, it was good. Not as good as book one, but it was good. Book three, yeah, it was starting to unravel. It didn't make sense. There was too much going on. I felt like the author was rushing, and book four was just, I really wished I had not bothered, to be perfectly honest with it. But I did enjoy the series as a whole, I guess. I'm glad I finished it, but yeah, book four was just a real letdown. So the book is about the Reds, and they are commoners, and they are ruled by the Silver Elites because they are in possession of godlike superpowers. And this book follows Mare Burrows, and she's a 17-year-old red-blooded girl from the poverty-stricken Stilts. So she literally finds herself working in the Silver Palace. She's surrounded by people she hates. And fearful of Mare's potential, the Silvers hide her in plain view, declaring that she is a long-lost Silver princess. So she has powers that she's not supposed to possess. They sign her up to be with Maven, but she had met the other brother, Cal, before. So it's kind of, that's where the love triangle is, like her and her affection for both of these brothers. Now, I loved the characters. Loved the characters. They were all battling with themselves, with each other. And it was just, I don't know, it was intense. It was intense. And I loved how each character kind of built and built and built. And you could, even when you realize that some of the people are not who you thought they were, you still understood why they turned out the way they did. It was absolutely mental. Now, they have a really complex magical system, but it was really easy to follow in the book. So the author did a really good job of explaining how things were, why they were like that. It was really well written. Now, the plot was very well balanced with the angst and the action. It was a really great overall novel. It was stunning in its execution. It was intense. It was dark. It was rife with betrayals and counter betrayals. And oh my God, like, yeah, my head was in tears, man. It was so good. And there was morally great characters. You didn't know who was who, what was why. It was awesome. The plot twist, though. That betrayal, though. Mind was blown. It was good. It was really, really, really good. And it was really hard to decide whether you're on Team Cal or Team Maven. Both. None. Like, it was, yeah. It was good, though. Really well written. Now, The Red Queen, I would have given it a 5-star just for that book. But for the whole series, it's like a 3.75. It was a real letdown. I really feel like it was a letdown. Okay, next. The Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith. We all know The Vampire Diaries. Whether you've seen the show or read the books, you know that Elena has sandwiched herself between two very fine Salvatore brothers. Now, the TV show and the books differ quite a lot. There are a vast amount of differences between the show and the book. So if you think that you know the books based on your knowledge of the TV show, you would be wrong. So clear that, okay? So Elena is the golden girl, the leader. She can have any boy she wants. Stefan, brooding, mysterious. You can't resist Elena. Kind of like the show, right? but he struggles to protect her from the horrors of his past. Obviously. Damon, sexy, dangerous, driven by the urge for revenge against Stefan, the brother who betrayed him. And he obviously wants to possess Elena in a different way, right? Like Doc. In the first chapter, this book is intense. It captures your attention. It's written in the third person, and then you have Elena's diary entries. Now, I really enjoyed the deep dive into Elena's thoughts. I thought that was the best parts of the book were actually how she was feeling, because it gave really nice, rounded context to what was going on in the story. I really enjoyed Elena. In the show, I can't stand her. She irritates the hell out of me. But in the book, love her, okay? I don't know why, because it's not even the actress, because I thought the actress did a phenomenal job. I didn't like Elena. She really rubbed me up the wrong way in the show. And I never really got on board with her in the show. And in the book, she has Bonnie and Meredith, who are her best friends. Caroline is not her best friend. That is her enemy. Okay? So you're all caught up now. Now, Stefan is the mysterious new guy in school, which is what happens in the TV show as well. He tries to stay away from her because he knows he's dangerous. He's not stupid, but he can't help it. He's drawn in, right? So if you know all of the back story and lore, as you know, the reason that this all gets triggered off is because of she's a descendant from Catherine, and that's who the brothers fought over. I actually think that may have been written after the fact of the TV show to kind of fill it in. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that the Stefan perspective in the books was done after the show or during the show. I can't remember which, and I don't know if that was the plan or whether it was ghost written. I seem to vaguely remember it may have been ghost written. But Damon, you don't see a lot of him in the first book, but you can kind of feel the tension, and his underlying vibe is just kind of there. And he has this connection to Elena, and it's weird and it's spooky. And obviously he's dangerous too, right? But his story is really intriguing. Like, his hunger for revenge really makes you understand both sides of the story, and you can't help but pick sides. So are you team Stefan or team Damon? And I'm actually team Damon in the show, but team Stefan in the books, okay? Sorry, it's just how it is. Did I prefer the show? Yes, I did. I completely did. The books are great. I gave it 4 stars, but the TV show was better. I know I'd rarely say that, but it's true. And the last one, I picked this one because rather than it being brothers in love with the same woman, this one is sisters want the same man. So it's My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. I hope I said that right. And this one is not a young adult romance. So I just wanted to give you something a little bit more than just the young adult romance trope. So this one is about Corady, and she is interrupted from eating her dinner with a distress call from her sister. And she has to turn up where she is with bleach, rubber gloves, and nerves of steel because her sister has accidentally killed a man. Now, this will be the third boyfriend that her sister has somehow managed to accidentally unalive, okay? So she's always cleaning up after her sister. But there is a doctor that she works with because she's a nurse, and she has a thing for him, and she moons after him. But the sister starts dating him, and obviously now she's worried that she's going to unalive him like she does every boyfriend. And she has to kind of decide between him and her. Oh my God, it was so good. It's a short book. If I remember, I listened to the audiobook, and I think it was only 6 hours and 50 minutes. So it's not a terribly long book. But the dark humor literally melts in your mouth like the sweetest, most decadent chocolate. It was so good. It was funny. It was dark. It was satiric. It was feminist, and it was black. Like, the 2 women, these are Jamaican women, and they are fabulous. I even really liked the sister. Now I kind of wish she'd stop dragging her sister into, her killing sprees, but I couldn't help it. I kind of love them both. But God, that just makes me a little, yeah, that's a red flag there, boys. Now, I think this book was totally underrated. It was entertaining, it was witty, and I don't know what took me so long to read it, because somebody told me to read this book a very long time ago, and I got round to reading it last year. And oh my God, I don't know why it took so long. I loved it. I totally loved it. I was completely and utterly enthralled the whole time I was reading it. The only thing I didn't like was the ending sucked. And I don't just mean it sucked a little bit. I think it didn't end the way I wanted it to. Not that the ending sucked. I don't think that's the right way of putting this. It didn't end the way I wanted it to, so it sucked for me. Now, the story is structured with really short chapters, and that was really handy. The writing style was really clean, it was really simple, but it was really impactful. It was powerful. The story alternated between the present and the narration of the family history, which may or may not explain why the other sister was crazy killer. The voice of the character, the main character, was really raw and honest and heartfelt, and it really set the tone. Really set a beautiful tone. It was clever, especially how the author wrote the serious and satire line with such ease, man. It was probably one of my favorite reads last year. And the only reason it got 4 stars was because I really wished it had ended differently. I really feel like it could have been better ending another way. But seriously, I still highly recommend this book. I really believe that you should grab a copy right now. It's such a good book. Now, like I said, love triangles are just, they're not my forte, period. So sibling love triangles, I really had a hard job. It took me 2 days to come up with 5 books. 2 days, man. 2 days. 5 books. And even then, I wished I could have found something instead of the Red Queen, because I would really hate for you guys to be disappointed with the series like I was. Now, not everybody was as disappointed as me, but I felt like bereft, I guess. And I really didn't want to do that too, but I couldn't come up with anything else. Like all the other books I kept finding, I hadn't read, and they didn't seem like books I would have read. So I'm sorry about that. Now, maybe you like sibling love triangles, and maybe you can provide me with some recs and I can add them in the captiony part on everywhere this is posted. So if you have any, stick them in the comments. I'd be really grateful. And so will my listeners. Let's say this is not your favorite trope either. What is your favorite trope? Let me know in the comments. What's your least favorite trope? I really want to know. Okay, I got exciting news. I don't know if you remember me talking about how I had found a co-host and we decided to do a podcast together called The Toppling TBR. Well, Hannah is now back from her vacation. We had a really great chat yesterday. We saw how everything was going to work. We've got some phenomenal episode ideas. Like, she had some freaking brilliant ideas. So I'm really hoping that you can give us a shot over there as well. If you go to YouTube, it's youtube.com /at the toppling TBR. We're adding content this week. We're going to film the very first episode on Friday. I think it's probably going to be available Saturday. So I'm hoping you can find us on there. We also have a Facebook page, facebook.com /the toppling TBR. Please give us a follow there. We're just starting to build, but you're going to have content from both of us separately and together. So I'm really hoping this is going to be a lot more rounded out. There's going to be different topics. I'm really freaking excited. We have really nice energy together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, you should still be following me. If you subscribe on my YouTube, which is youtube.com /at Ladulterous. You can find me on Facebook at Ladulterous, Instagram at Ladulterous Horror, TikTok at Ladulterous. Give me a follow on any of them. You can catch my book reviews at www.thelionessofliteracy.com. Obviously, you can buy my book merch. If you go to my Etsy store, bookaloriandesigns.etsy.com, and type in Ladulterous on the coupon page on checkout, I think it's 35% off the whole store. do it now. You need pretty stuff. I don't know if you can see behind me, but on my books, I started hanging hook bookmarks because not only can they save your page, but they can also decorate your bookshelves so you get function and pretty. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm absolutely loving my life right now. I'm getting to read, review, do the podcast. I'm absolutely books all day, every day is absolutely amazing. Don't forget, Friday is my Read Like Rory episode where I will be talking about atonement, see what I felt about the book, what I thought Rory liked about the book. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a really great reading week, and I will see you on Friday. This is Stacey Wright signing off from The Adulterous Whore. Have a great rest of your week, guys. Take care.